Hey troops, GeneralJSmith here, back with another LEGO Star Wars Winter 2015 set build and review. And today I'm doing it on the Hailfire Droid, the third version I believe. Set number 75085, ages 7 to 12, it comes with 163 pieces, so pretty small, and retails for £20 or $20. So, yeah, I've never had a Hailfire Droid, and I've always really wanted one. I really want the 2008 version. I think there was one before that, I'm not sure. Maybe there wasn't. I'm a bit, well, not skeptical. Skeptical is the wrong word, but I'm a bit interested in this set, really, to see how it compares to the 2008 one. And, of course, I don't have it with me, so I can't really probably compare it. But I do recall, you know, from the box art and stuff, that one did look very cool, and I really do want it. Now, of course, this is a much smaller version. Like, you did not get... you get like a spider droid, more droids and stuff in the other version, so of course this is more simplified to the actual thing, but even the Hailfire Droid itself is simplified. So yeah, but it does look pretty cool, and actually I do want to pick up another one of these at some point. And of course you get the Clone Lieutenant, which is a very, very big plus, because I never got in the promotional thing. I wanted it so badly, but I didn't get something in time. You know, I bought something, but it was too late. So I really like we finally get the Clone Lieutenant again. Some people aren't too happy because, you know, it makes the one from May the 4th less exclusive, and that's understandable. But I mean, for me, because I never got one of these, and for those who never got one of these, you know, it obviously makes it a lot easier, and it is a very cool clone to add to your collection. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is one of the few clones we're getting in this line that's not in a battle pack. So yeah, we're not really getting that many others. Well, obviously because of Star Wars Rebels and stuff, but whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna have to obviously build this. It won't take very long, it's like 20 minutes, or but yeah, let's just get into building it right now. Alright, so then that was a pretty quick build, nothing too special there. It was pretty simple actually. I mean, of course, as I said, I do not have the old 2008 version, even though I'd really, really love to get it. But it just feels like that one was larger in a lot of ways, because it really doesn't feel like a very large set. I mean, don't get me wrong, I guess it's a decent Hailfire Droid. I wouldn't expect nothing particularly special, although of course it's not size accurate. The actual version is considerably larger, you know, obviously has a massive missile rack and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a good little build. I am probably going to get another one of these at some point, you know. Good if you're building like a GeneralJSmith, or perhaps a, I don't know, some sort of sand mock, you know, on a sand planet, or something like that. Because it is pretty suited to that. Of course, this is actually from GeneralJSmith, so that's pretty cool. The minifigures aren't particularly special, apart from the Clone Lieutenant, which is very cool, unless you have the old one, in which case there's no point. However, I do think this one has leg printing, where the other one didn't. I'm not sure about that, but whatever. Of course, you do get two Super Droids, nothing special about them at all. But yeah, it's a pretty cool set, pretty nice little build. Not the best, definitely not the worst set of the line, but yeah, it's pretty good. I'm glad they gave it just before we're into like the Star Wars Rebels and Star Wars Episode 7, that fever. Before we get all that, I'm glad they remade this. So yeah, but you know, if you really want a decent size, a really good one, then you know there's no harm in getting the old one, right? Because I don't think it goes for that much, like the old Hailfire Droid. So really, it's up to you. You know, it depends on what you want. But anyway, that's just my opinion. Let's just now get into the minifigures themselves. Alright, so first up we have the Clone Lieutenant then. Clone Trooper Lieutenant. Very nice minifigure. This is actually, I think, one of the only clones we're getting with this line. I mean, you could say we do get the Coruscant, like, guard people in that battle pack, but they're not really clones, and it's like, yeah. Other than that, though, it's the only clone. It's the only real Clone Wars set, I guess. I mean, it's debatable, you know, like Anakin's thing is Clone Wars and all that, but, yeah. But anyway, he's very, very nice. I'm really glad they gave him back. I know a lot of people are kind of annoyed that they recreated him, because obviously it makes the exclusive one on May 4th, what, a couple of years ago? It makes that one less exclusive, which is unfortunate, but there you go. Anyway, so if you recall, in the 2013 Battle Pack, I believe, we got like a clone sergeant, where the exact same printing, except it was like a sort of olive green type thing. And then we also had a clone captain, was the red, and we also had a, you know, commander, and all these different things with the exact same printing, except slightly different colours. And I am liking it, actually. Like, I'm liking the different ranks and all this stuff. So this one is the exact same, but in the blue. Get the standard clone head. It is a clone head, but I just call it troop head. So. But I'm liking this blue. I think it looks very, very nice. Technically, this printing on the legs is new. Like, we do not get that exclusive on May 4th, but it's nothing too special. We have seen it before. He gets a standard gun, which I'm very happy about. I'm glad they didn't give us those rubbish, you know, flick ones or whatever. But yeah, there's nothing too special about him as such. It's just a nice figure to have. I'm glad they gave us, you know, him back again, once again, you know, because he's a very cool minifigure. Add to your clone trooper collection. And of course, now that he's in a £20 set, this is, you know, the May the 4th figure is now going to very much go down in price, which I can understand why people would be upset about that. But as a person who never got that one, I don't mind, you know, it's all good. And of course, if you want to get multiples of these, that means you get multiples of this trooper, and that's always good, that's always all that. But yeah, really, that's basically the trooper, that's really the main figure of the set. Mainly because the other two are just normal Super Battle Droids, so. But even so, he's a very cool minifigure. I'm glad we got at least one set, you know, very, very, very cool. And, well, yeah, really, that's basically the cloning channel. Let's now go on to the Super Battle Droids. Alright, so on the next two minifigures, which are the Super Battle Droids, I'm just going to show one because you do get two, but they're exactly the same, of course. There is nothing we have not seen before here. Yeah, I don't really think I need to show you them, but there you go. So there's only 3 minifigs in this set, but at the end of the day, it's a pretty small set, so I wouldn't really expect much. I guess I would wish perhaps another GeneralJSmith droid. Like if I would ever make a GeneralJSmith mock, that would have been very nice. You know, like a Battle Droid and the GeneralJSmith star, similar to the ones we got in the 2013 Summer line with those sets. We've got a few GeneralJSmith Battle Droids there. But, you know, at the end of the day, I know there are a lot of people who like their droid armies, so, you know, they can obviously add these. There's nothing wrong with it, I guess. But, there you go. Really nothing to say here. He's a standard Super Battle Droid. You get 2 of them, as I said. There you go. Let's just now go on to the set itself. Alright then, so on to this set. It is pretty, you know, pretty small, actually. Perhaps slightly smaller than you may think. I mean, this is, you know, it compared to my hand, so... Yeah, not exactly the last thing in the world. Actually, I'm going to get the Wookiee gunship, which I just reviewed. You see, it's not exactly the largest thing in the known universe. I think it is probably smaller than the Turn 8 version, although, of course, I didn't have that. I mean, it's not really, really small. It is a decent, fairly decent size set, I guess, but even so. Alright, so I've got to say, this set definitely, out of every set ever with the spring-loaded shooters, this has to be the one that uses them the best, in the most efficient, you know, accurate way. They use them for the rockets. Now, of course, there are meant to be more. Now, technically speaking, there are meant to be, well, it says, like, on the box, you can see, you know, it looks like they're all red, and it looks like they're all these spring-loaded shooters. So you think you get 8, but you don't, you just get 4. And in actual fact, these 2 at the front, or at the back of each one, are just like, not studs, but whatever they call them, like, actually slotted in, rather than extra ones that go all the way. That is annoying, I guess. I mean, really, this is the one where you want a ton of these, you know, things, because it's meant to have like 12 or something on each rack, because it's meant to be just a massive missile launcher, basically. Of course, Lego really didn't have to do that, but, you know, a few more would have been nice, I guess. You do get 4 of them, or you do get 5, like one of them spare. And have you noticed, by the way, I've just noticed that with every single set, this line, which we have got these spring-loaded shooters, they have all been red. Other than Anakin's Custom Jedi Starfighter, we've got 4 blue ones. Other than that, though, every other time we've got these in this line, they've all been red. Regardless of whether good guy, bad guy, whatever. So, yeah. But anyway, so on the side, then we've got these wheels that are printed pieces. No, there's no stickers in this set, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, so they are printed. Spin pretty easily. Really nothing special there. Of course, they do roll on smooth surfaces and on bricks. Very nice. We got a gun down here. Looks pretty cool, actually. Can go down that way, but of course you got the wheel, so it's not gonna go down the way. That's how high it can go up. But yeah, you got the thing here, which is the like eye stalk, whatever. The sensor thing that how it sees, basically. Got a couple of things on the side. Obviously, a lot of, you know, orangey brown pieces you can use in your GeneralJSmith mocks and things. So if you are building GeneralJSmith mock, I can see this would be extremely helpful for that. A very good set for that. It really does blend in very nicely. Does look pretty cool, actually. Now, you can bend the legs if you want to. Or not legs, but wheels. Can put them at that angle, you know. Pretend it's like the Back to the Future car, where it can, like, put the wheels underneath and fly away. But anyway, it can go fully up if you want it to, but I don't think it's really meant to. Meant to go like that. But yeah, really, so, I mean, of course you can modify these. They are, as I said, they are meant to hold a lot more. So you can obviously easily modify them by simply just extending this out. You know, it's really nothing too special, just adding extra on, and there you go. So yeah, really, they don't move or anything, they're just stuck in place, so. But we'll just show you, by there's this hook on the back. Don't know what that's for, but whatever. Alright, so I'll just show you how they fire. If you do not know, simply push them and it will fire. Whoa, that was crazy. But yeah, so very simple. Of course, you can put it in both ways if you really want to, but it's nothing special there. Yeah, really, I suppose overall, I've got to be honest, even though I have not had it, I kind of do prefer the Channel 8 one, just because that one had a much larger missile rack, and I think the missile racks were slightly adjustable. I mean, you know, really it's minor differences, and I think that one was slightly larger, slightly more detailed or something, you know, so it's really minor differences between this and the Channel 8 one. But yeah, so I mean, this is definitely not a bad buy, you know, but if you can find the other one for a decent price, which I think you probably can on eBay or Bricklink, you know, find it separately and stuff, then yeah, I mean, you can get either, really. When it's this versus the Channel 8 one, it really depends on where you want to get stuff. Do you want to get it from Lego or whatever, or do you want to get it from Bricklink or eBay? Because I think you can get the other one for a decent price. So it's not like, you know, the other one goes for hundreds and you might as well buy this one. So it really depends what you want. You know, either way, it's a good buy. It is definitely not a bad set anyway. I was very excited for this set because I never got to Channel 8 one, and I really wanted a Hailfire Droid because I think they're really cool. I think they're really cool droid sets. Because, by the way, if you don't know, it is a droid. Like the Vulture Droid, it's not piloted by anything. It is an actual droid itself. So yeah, but yeah, very nice set then. Very cool. I'm liking it. Nothing too special though. You know, I'm glad we did get another one, even if it's, well, it's not a bad set. Like, but it's hard to describe what I'm feeling right now. But yeah, so I probably will pick up at some point a Channel 8 version just to sort of compare it, to see for myself what it would be like. But definitely this is, you know, don't say, like, this is way worse than Channel 8 one, like, you know, for example, the MTT, the new version is way worse than Channel 7 version. It's not like that. Perhaps the Channel 8 one was slightly better, but not significantly. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, if you want to get something new in the box for a cheap price, you know, want to get a Hailfire Droid, say if you're doing a GeneralJSmith mock and you will get multiples of these, then yeah, definitely get this. Really cool. Can't go wrong with it. But yeah, that's basically it then for the set. Pretty quick, you know, pretty whatever. Let's just now go into the instructions, the box, and then conclude this review. Alright, so on the instruction manual. The instruction manual is actually pretty different, you know. Not really used to this before. So on the back, it actually opens up this way. So, yeah, it's more like a little booklet, really. Anyway, you got the standard little win on the back. Oops, right. And then you got, that's the code if you want to use it. I don't care. You can get a poster. You got the minifigures here. Very nice. Got the features. So they can move, can spin, all that. You know, of course there aren't that many features. You know, nothing more than you expect. Because obviously it is a small set. So there you go. Very cool. What is that? 42 pages to build or so. So pretty nice. So it's weird, it opens up this way. Didn't expect that, you know, but still pretty cool. Although, I'm going to say, 3 numbered bags. I mean, what's that about? So did the, what was it called? Skyhopper, I think? The set we got this year, you know, and one other set which I've already reviewed, you know, they got like 3 numbered bags, and it's like, it's weird. Oh yeah, the Sith Inquisitors set, that had 3 numbered bags as well. And it's weird because, you know, I don't know how Lego puts in the number, like what number of bags they're going to put in the set. because I mean this has 163 pieces, which isn't very much, you know. And it's like in each bag took like a few minutes or something, so it was nothing significant. It's like, you know, I'd really be interested to find out why Lego puts some sets in like lots of bags, even when it's a smaller set. You know, like, isn't a certain amount of pieces per bag or something? I don't know. But, yeah, so it didn't need three numbered bags, but it had them anyway. But, yeah, that's the instruction manual. You know, kind of unique, different, pretty cool. But at the end of the day, it's just a standard instruction manual, nothing too special there. But, yeah, let's just now go into the box and then conclude it then. Alright then, so on to the box. The box is pretty standard, although it is a slightly different size. I've not seen this before. Have the minifigures on the back, front there. Get four of them. So it says Disney, not Star Wars Rebels, because it was not Star Wars Rebels. Yeah. It's weird. I thought we only got this in Star Wars Rebels sets, but I guess it's like every set now. Like, you know. But yeah, pretty cool art. This is GeneralJSmith, I believe. You know. I think it's slightly thicker than most boxes. But still pretty nice. You have to excuse this part here. I had to kind of rip it open. I try not to, but whatever. Anyway, so you got this stuff. Pretty cool. Very nice. The clone is kind of outmatched, you know. But, yeah, pretty standard box. Really nothing to say here, you know. As I said, I have 3 numbered bags. Don't know why, but I'm really curious to find out what the number system is. But whatever, that was basically then to the entire set. And now I think we should just go and conclude this review by giving my final thoughts on it. So here we are then in the conclusion of the review. So yeah, overall it is a very good set, as I said, for what it is, for a £20 set, for a, you know, cheap little set, probably the smallest of the battle packs of this line. It is very, very good. You know, I like it. Of course, I've never had a Hailfire Droid, so I can't really compare it to the other ones. All I've seen of the like Turn 8 version was just pictures. I'm not sure there's one before that. Maybe there was, maybe there wasn't. But yeah, it is a good version. I do want to pick up the Turn 8 one at some point, just sort of compare them, see what I like. But I am going to pick up another one of these because it is a pretty good set. I'm liking it. I like the figure, obviously. The Super Battle Droids are pretty standard, so yeah. And if you want to build a GeneralJSmith mock at any point, or really if you know, you don't have to. It could be with any mock, really, just any droid mock. You may want to include this set. It is pretty nice. It goes well with like the homing spider droid. Perhaps I would have preferred it a little larger. Like, perhaps I would have preferred an actual size accurate version, which would have been like £50 or something, because, you know, we're fairly large with a massive missile rack. But I have to say, out of every set ever, we have got these spring-loaded shooters. It has to be utilised the absolute most in this set. You know, like, they've used it very, very well. I mean, you know my opinion. Generally, I'm not a fan of them because they obviously go very far if you flick them, which is, you know, some people think that's very good. But the problem is that they're really, really delicate, so if you accidentally knock them, and especially in like this set where they poke out the end, so you can accidentally knock them, they'll go flying and you lose them, and yeah. But I know you do have this extra, but even so, yeah. But anyway, so that's my review then. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful, please do give this review a like down below, because it shows, you know, which reviews you like, which ones you don't, all that stuff. Please leave down in the comments any questions or things you have. I'm doing a Q&A right now. I have reached 1,000 subscribers today, which was kind of crazy, so thank you everyone to that. The Q&A, however, will not be coming till I've done the entire line of 2015 sets, but that won't be long. That will not be long. It will be some point next week, you know, like by the end of next week I will have done them all, and the Q&A will be coming up very soon. And you can still ask questions. I know it's not like a giveaway where, you know, the deadline is when I reach a certain amount. You know, even though I've passed 1,000 subscribers, you can still ask questions, you know, you can still have. So leave any questions or whatever you have down in the comments, and I may answer it, of course, give you a shout out and all that. And of course, please subscribe to my channel because, yeah, really, to get me to 2,000. So, anyway, but thank you guys for watching so much. A good set, I would give it a good 8 out of 10. Yeah, for what it is, yes, I would give it an 8 out of 10. And I do recommend you pick it up. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in another review. The next one will be the Battle Droid Troop Carrier. So yeah, and yeah, thank you for watching. Bye, troops. Hey troops, GeneralJSmith here, back with another LEGO Star Wars 2015 set build winter review with the yeah.
If you become a great film producer, it's anything to do with me. I want some money.